welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Remy and I share lots of vegan recipes and tips to help you live well. But today's video is a little different. We're gonna be doing a pack with me video. This has been highly requested ever since I posted my first one. I feel like there are a lot of people that come back for it. I haven't been able to put one up because for obvious reasons I haven't really been traveling this year, but I am now officially in Amsterdam and I actually filmed my packing this time around. I'll be bringing a few things that may seem a little weird because I am here for an entire month. I'm also visiting my boyfriend and seeing his family, so I have like gifts, I have random food things that I just decided to bring in, and I also do create content for a living, so I had to bring a couple of things with me with that in mind. So not everything you're gonna see is a necessity, but that's what makes this fun, right? Also, of course, I am filming this in October of 2020 and things are still pretty real in the US as far as the pandemic. So I did have to bring a couple of things with me in flight and just things in general to be safe. So when I'm packing, my process is number one, decide which suitcase I'm gonna use. In this case, I'm using a pretty large one because like I said, I'm staying for a month. And I also like to bring a little carry-on because I keep my valuables in there and things that I wanna be able to access when I'm in flight. Second, I start kind of piling things up and collecting them in the corner of my apartment about a week in advance or as soon as I know I'm going somewhere, things that I know that I'm gonna need when I'm away, and that just makes it a little bit easier. Number three, I like to make a list of the things that I need or things that I know that I need, and I'll start making this list in advance so that as things come to me, I can write them down. I like to make a handy list on Notion, and then as I'm packing, I can just check things off. It's very satisfying, but also I know exactly what I'm bringing with me. Next, I start to pull things out and kind of just dump them in a pile. I sort of start with more things that I need, and then as I go, I kind of skim down and remove what I don't need based on space. Now to get to the actual packing. I chose a pair of rain boots because the weather was kind of on and off rainy from what I could tell before leaving, a pair of athletic sneakers, flats, and a more casual pair of sneakers as well. Next, I started with accessories and I chose a bag that would match with most of my outfits to keep it neutral. I also packed some winter hats, sunglasses, and regular glasses just for everyday seeing, and jewelry, although I usually wear the same jewelry pretty much every day. I also packed masks, a scarf for the winter weather, and some more masks. This may not be the best way to pack your supplements, but I kind of just threw everything for the month into one pouch in a stasher bag. And then for the actual plane ride, since it wasn't overnight, I decided to put my daily vitamins into a pill container like this. And I do usually like to travel with something like this because I find that it's easier to remember to take everything on the right day, especially if you're flying over to a different time zone. Another item that probably looks pretty sus to the TSA, this is my daily moon tea that I drink pretty much every single day. I've spoken about this in a lot of my other videos, but they're just dried herbs. I also packed some home fitness items because I knew I'd be working out from home, so simple pieces of equipment like resistance bands, some ankle weights, which are only about 1 pound in weight, and then some sliders. These are some really great things that you can use to work out at home. I also packed Pilates socks in case I ended up going to a studio. This is where things start to get a little bit interesting. So the matcha kit, I would say, is an essential in my life because I love having matcha every single day. And honestly, when you're traveling, you may not always find the best matcha, so I prefer to bring it on my own. You'll probably save some money as well. I brought some stasher bags and I actually stored the matcha tools in the same stasher bag. So it's multi-purpose, it's storage, but I could also use it once I'm in Amsterdam. Then I packed some kitchen linens and a couple of props. I only did this because I develop recipes and shoot food photos for a living, so just in case, I like to have a couple of props with me. I also packed a reusable mug and my water bottle. Along the same vein, I packed some food items that I wanted to share with my boyfriend and to have while I was there, so I brought my own plant protein as well as some chickpea pasta. You can get this in Amsterdam, but I just thought I would pack a box with me. I also packed my favorite dark chocolate for snacking and 2 of my favorite protein bars, Go Macro and these Mezcla bars, which are my recent obsession. Another thing that I can't live without, everything bagel seasoning, so I packed this to cook with as well. I usually try and pack my electronics last, but one thing that I never travel without is an adapter or a transformer, especially if I'm traveling overseas. Then I also packed my drone, and this is something that is fun to use when you're outside of the city because there's more that you can actually capture and places where you can use it, although it is pretty bulky and heavy to pack. I also packed my Polaroid camera and my AirPods, which are incredible. I don't know how I lived without them before them. I remember I used to think they were super lame, but now I love them. Anyways, I also packed my mini tripod for my vlogging camera, my hard drive, and of course my vlogging camera so that I could vlog for you guys. Then my iPad for graphic design work, and of course my handy dandy laptop. Now to get everything into the actual suitcase. This is the part where I'll start to kind of wean down on things that I'm packing and just reassess and make sure that everything that's going in is something that I will actually use and something that I need. One of the things that I love to do though is to make sure that the heaviest items are towards the bottom of the suitcase, and I also try to balance out the weight of everything so that I can avoid suitcase wobble. By the way, don't worry, the shoes are clean. I would never pack clean clothes on top of dirty shoes. Anyways, I had to get a little bit creative in terms of how I was packing some of the more delicate items, like the props that I shared with you guys, the bowls and plates in particular. So you may not be able to tell, but I kind of wrap them up in clothing, which is a great tip if you have anything that's very delicate or easily breakable, is to wrap it up in the clothing that you're packing as well. May not look as aesthetic and may not look as organized, but it'll protect your stuff, which I think is more important than anything. When it comes to makeup and skincare products, I like to take a peek at my medicine cabinet and look for anything that I want to use up or any mini sample sized items, but I usually know what I'm going to use, kind of the same things that I would use on an everyday basis. And I go into more depth in older videos if you want to check that out, but I always pack it in my check-in suitcase just so that I can make sure my liquids aren't confiscated in case they're over 100 milliliters. It's officially fly day. We're all packed up. Other bag over there, plus some cookies that I have to bring for Mo's dad that he loves from the city. I've got to put this very camera that I'm filming on away into my carry-on. So I'm gonna switch to my phone, but we're about to head to the airport anyway, so that's about it for packing. Alright guys, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that it was a little bit different than my other packing videos, so definitely check those out. They are a little bit more representative of things that I would pack if things were a little bit more normal in the world. Now that I am in Amsterdam, stay tuned for more vlogs. There will definitely be some videos with my boyfriend. And if you're traveling soon, be safe. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this. The next time that I fly, I can definitely film something. I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!